Okay, this morning. My name is Jamarl Thomas. I am your host of the Progressive Soapbox. I have an awesome video. Michael Tracy put this video up, so I'm giving him due credit. And I'm not going to play the entirety of this video. I'm only going to play a portion because you'll get what I'm saying here. I am about to show you the saddest, most pathetic thing that has ever to have taken place, at the very least, over the last 50 years. That's how bad this is. Or let's just say this is how pathetic this is. Bad is a different word for it. And I've been sitting here laughing at this, and it's true that I'm making certain inferences. Like I'm inferring Hillary supporters because, there's a certain rabid glint in their eye that gets across, certain intentions. And they're holding on to an indelible scar that was formed in the 2020 or 2016 election when she lost to reality show hosts. I recognize that pain. Now, it's a little bit different because, he was a reality show host. And they were waiting for something. Like, I recognize this. I recognize this in my enemy. Do you remember when Sanders was running in the race and it was like, God, she has such a lead on him. But the investigation was still going on. And all of us were like, indict her. Please indict her. It's like we were hoping for the ref, a hand of God, to intrude into the process and say, yeah, she's going to be indicted because she did something that was blatantly against the law. We were waiting for it. And then when Comey gets up there, we waited with bated breath. And he's recounting all of her sins as if Comey is on a game show where he's waiting to the last minute to let us know whether or not he is the father. And in this case, it was like, he is not the father. He let her go. But it's like he let her go after recounting all of these sins, all of these failings that would have had someone put under the prison. Let her go. Now, in this very specific case, Mueller is the guy that they're using to try to get Trump out of office. They couldn't do it legislatively or let's say politically through the electoral system. So they wanted this, hand of God, Deus Machina, I think it's called, to essentially intrude into the process and yank Trump out of office. Now, the ridiculousness of this is Mike Pence is going to be in office next. But it's very possible that they would have taken that ruling that showed Trump colluded with the Russians to try to nullify the election entirely. I wouldn't put it past them. My point is this. When Mueller came out and said there was no collusion between Donald Trump and Russia, you can imagine that a lot of libs all across the spectrum that had found themselves in front of a television set waiting for Rachel Maddow to tell them the new conspiracy theory, the new thing that Donald Trump has did, the new clue that's getting across that Donald Trump is colluding with the Russians, the new thing that they could cling on to and they could just hate him that much more because Rachel Maddow gave him that one new thing for that particular day. And Mueller comes out with that Barr report, says no collusion. Do you know her ratings dropped precipitously immediately after? Because people didn't necessarily want to hear additional bad news. Because for them, the president not colluding with the Russians was bad news. They wanted that to be true. They believed it for 2 years. And Mueller just killed their hopes and dreams, squished them. It's like a mob boss squishing a man's testicles in order to just punish him for something that the guy did. It hurt. It burned in their souls. People who've been in this delusional state for the past 2.5 years or so, I guess you can say they had two options. They can internalize this and say, okay, maybe I am politically motivated because I hate Donald Trump and I just want them to get him on something. I just want them to fucking get him out of office. But maybe I was overboard on this one. Maybe there's nothing here in the way that Mueller says it. Or you can say, I want my long-form birth certificate. You've shown me the birth certificate, but that's a short form. I want a long form because I believe that there is no long form because Obama is a Kenyan Muslim Manchurian candidate. But in this case, I need to see the entirety of the Mueller report. And I need to see all of the evidence that was associated with Mueller getting the report. And I need to see all of the people that Mueller talked to when Mueller was accruing the evidence, including each and every prosecutor and the prosecutors' moms and grandmothers, because we need to make sure that they're not compromised by the Russian government. I'm going to show you a video. This video, I'm inferring, is Hillary supporters. And I am going to argue that this is quite possibly the saddest thing that you would ever see. And I'm not laughing about this, even though it seems like I am laughing outside. I am hurting inside for the human race. I see the humanity in all of these people. So this is not purely a thing of derision. Where is it? There we are. And right here. Alright. It's not great video quality, but you can see what's taking place. They're a gathering of Hillary supporters. They're out in the wild. And if you can see the thing, it says release the Mueller report. They want to see the entirety of the report. Look at what they are going to do. This is an amazing thing. They're at Times Square.
You all ready to dance? Yeah! All right, this is number 12 in the hymnal, We Will Survive. At first we were afraid, we were petrified by the sight of all those nasty Nazis by your side. And we spent so many nights assuming you were such a clown, you'd go down. But then the Kremlin came to town and you came back with grisly axe. Today you're busy blowing Vladimir to thank him for the hack. Should have changed that stupid vote and counted Democrats.
God, I have to start this over again. I'm sorry. This is brutal, man. They're out here screaming, release the report. And they've already said that they're going to release the report. They were trying to get the redactions or whatever else that's taking place. They've already said they're going to release the report. Apparently, the time frame is not soon enough. And I guess these guys are protesting. I don't know what they're protesting. Release the report. You're getting your report. And they're out here in Times Square singing We Will Survive. Who's going after you? Like, that's a fascinating thing, right? Why are you singing that particular song? You will survive. What are you going to survive? I guess I'm asking, what is oppressing you to the point where you're believing that you need to stand here in solidarity with these kind of Negro hymns of we will survive in this situation? Is it really because Mueller didn't find that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians? That to some degree you feel that that's a loss, that the president of the United States wasn't colluding with a foreign government in order to get elected? And it's seeing that's a loss because it wouldn't get Donald Trump out of office. You find that you need to sing songs about surviving and whatnot. I find that's amazing. Let's hear, sing it from the top. I don't want to step on their thing. They're doing their thing. Let's hear them.
Dance? All right, this is number 12 in the hymnal, We Will Survive. At first we were afraid, we were petrified by the sight of all those nasty Nazis by your side. And we spent so many nights assuming you were such a clown, you'd go down. But then the Kremlin came to town and you came back with grisly axe. Today you're busy blowing Vladimir to thank him for the hack. Should have changed that stupid vote and counted democratically. Should have known that fools and traitors run the goddamn GOP. Go on that road, you Russian whore.
Whoa, that language. That Russian whore. Oh, whoa. I was jamming until you said that, man. You've fucking pierced my gentle, tender hide with that. That's brutal, man. They're outside. They're outside singing in Times Square. This is awesome. all of them are wearing like pink sachets. Jimmy Dore has a character, I think it's like gay Hillary supporter. And the idea that the guy who's leading it has a pink sachet on is awesome. God, this is funny as all hell, man. They started an investigation on the President of the United States with pretty shoddy evidence, allowing them to spy on his campaign. You guys saw nothing wrong with it because it was Obama's jurisdiction where this was taking place. When Hillary Clinton was under investigation, you saw no issue at all with Loretta Lynch presiding over that particular process. But of course, in this case, it is a big deal that Donald Trump gets to choose his attorney generals, and they want a special prosecutor for everything. In this last case here, we found out that they were using a dossier that was paid for by the political opposition. And we need to highlight the fact that paid for, because that's the only difference between what they're trying to say Donald Trump did versus what Hillary Clinton did. Hillary Clinton paid a foreign source to get information on his political opponent, but because it was paid for, apparently, that makes all the distinction in the world. That is a shallow distinction, but I guess it's a technicality nonetheless. But the report made it very clear that there was no connection here. And yet they're singing songs about a connection here. Defiling an amazing song with ridiculousness. Conspiracy theories. They just won't let it go. I suppose Rachel Maddow is going to keep her audience of delusional conspiracy theorists who are looking for anything that they can cling on to. And by the way, it wasn't like this didn't draw blood. I mean, in the same way that Bill Clinton had the case against him, I think the Whitewater case, and they were able to essentially impeach him on a blowjob, I was against it when they were doing this to Bill Clinton. I thought this was way overbounds. Well, they've drawn things from Donald Trump. The devaluation of his properties, the inflation of his properties in cases when he's dealing with Forbes, like Forbes magazine of the riches and that type of stuff. So they did get real world things out of it, not to mention going after his taxes and going after this other stuff under the idea of oversight. But there was no there. And if people had an honest appraisal of the weight of the evidence that they had before all of this investigation and everything else took place, meaning if people knew that this was purely paid for by the political opposition and they knew that it was uncooperated, would they have willingly said, well, yeah, the president should be investigated? I mean, think about what that would mean. Any random person could be pretty much investigated for anything on a whim just because some random person says something. Yeah, there should be something to get across that the person deserves to be investigated. And I'm not necessarily sure that was true here. But I'm not going to keep this one long because I have a real one that I want to do after this. Yes, this is a real video, but I have videos that I want to get to on political stuff. Let's see. Damn it, where's my window? All right, here. Yeah, we're gonna have a few shows for today. If I look like hell, I apologize. I've been up all night. I'm working on an additional channel. Not gonna say what that channel is yet. I will expose to my patrons first. When I get the first video. Now I hate that song. White people always ruining shit. Shaking my head. It kills the song, right? It's like, why are you destroying that good song, that woman's good song? Yeah, that's sad, man. That's a sad display. And I know I'm laughing, but I'm crying on the inside. Crying on the inside. All right, guys, I'm going to end this, and I will see you guys probably in about 15 minutes, however long it takes to bring up the next item. If you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support the PayPal or Patreon. Thanks all.